Performers and Achievers. Welcome to Performers and Achievers Daily with me, Raj Gavurla. In today's episode, I will continue, since today is Wednesday, to look at a strategy from my book, Winning at Entrepreneurship, Common Sense Strategies for Business Owners. So strategy 6, which some people call chapter, right? Chapter 6. However, in my book, it's called Strategy 6, is build trustworthy relationships. Build trustworthy relationships. So, how do you build trustworthy relationships? Do you know? Let's see here. I have listed 7 steps. The first step is before I even say the 7 steps, the first step is to simplify. Simplify. And somewhere in my book, you'll read the words simplify, 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 simplify. So now, here are the 7 steps to establishing trustworthy relationships. Create dialogue. Without dialogue, you don't know what a person or company wants or needs. So that's number 1, is your ability to connect with them. That catapults your value or worth to them. So people know people. Things don't know people. Number 2, second step, identify what's important to the other person. What's important to them? What do they want? How can you help them in this process, or help them identify what they want and need to benefit? Financially. Number 3, the third step is to identify the other person's bugs. So this is very relevant and relatable to about anyone, and I'll bring it out and accentuate it with this example. My example is, you like to eat, let's say, pizza. I mean, you really like to eat pizza. Every once in a while, you like to eat pizza. However, if somebody was to have you eat pizza every day, even though you like pizza a whole lot, some of you more than every once in a while, eventually you'd have a disliking to it. It would start to upset you or bother you or not treat you well. So you need to understand while you're talking with the other person to the other person? Where is it that there are words, vocabulary that aren't resonating with them for whatever reason? I have an example in my book. However, it's your ability to be able to find out and to be able to resonate, be relevant, relatable to them. The third step is if the person says or tells you anything about family or friends or themselves not being well, then this person needs you more as a helpful and supporting friend. Although you might have never met this person, this is your first meeting with them. I'm realistic. So be there now for them. Be compassionate. And you can pick up the good business conversation when the time is right. Step 5, create or generate results for each other. Your client, your customer receives something of value in exchange for you receiving something of value. So there are lots of ways that can be done. Step number 6 is to, again, this goes back to calm emotion first from you, so that then you can acknowledge their emotion and put them in a calm emotion eventually. And there's communication, best communication in the toolbox to learn, practically learn how to do that. So step number 6 is to curb your temper, sarcasm, criticism, need to be right, and tendency to judge. And that's where you use your wisdom, gain wisdom, clarity, and all of those communications, best communication in your toolbox. So you're trying to understand them. So as we do this, we're treating each other well to create more highways for success. So peace. We must all have peace at our center. Step number 7, always make an honorable stand. So if something's not right or something's wrong, way you approach that and use your best communication toolbox as a way to be able to stop or take action to stop the whatever it is that's occurring. Let's say it's an injury or not a physical injury, but an injury, something to the effect that that's not to their liking. And you will then be taking them out of that, whatever they are in. Not really sure what that is. And they'll be subdued, not slain. I have an example. Sometimes when people use a series of obscenities, and something is wrong. However, most likely they're passionate about something, and as you have calm emotion, you're trying to understand them. And then you might need to have someone come in and assist and support what's occurring there. Some people call it a mediator. Some people might have an advisor, or maybe there's a relationship manager. And usually what occurs is that somewhere along the way, there's probably confusion somewhere, or there's some kind of training error, and therefore the person or some type of administrative error or an administering error. And that's what's causing this person to communication with obscenities. And so that's where situational awareness comes in your toolbox. That's also where you're able to look at the atmosphere, the environment, the culture there, and are they being passionate about the situation, or are they directing it at you, or both? And so that's where it's good to try and understand what's occurring there. And again, keep in mind, usually when you have calm emotion, then with your best communication toolbox, be able to address the other person's emotion. So another example is one person learned to do a specific task one way, and then another person's telling them to do the task another way. So all that really needs to occur there is to be able to have the discussion where you're respecting the actual situation. And by doing that, you're actually respecting yourself and each other. And so those are the items. And sometimes it may be as simple as an apology. Could be that. Then that gets them out of their obscenity mode. I'm realistic. Maybe one obscenity is okay. A whole series of them, that's not best communication in your toolbox. So those are the 7 steps. There are others in here as this strategy 6, build trustworthy relationships, have other subheadings. I won't go into detail in these. Good businesses, organizations, teams, they bring me in to accentuate each one of these, the ones that they like me to accentuate, that they want to make practical breakthroughs in learning so that they do have best communication in their toolbox. So other subheadings are give real feedback. The other one is control the controllables. Or the heading in my chapter is limit yourself to expand your results. Next one is network or networking. Then the other one is have a positioning statement. Positioning is very important. No matter what endeavor, what initiative, where you are, what you do, professionally, playing sports, anything. Are you in position When you're in position, it's much simpler. Much, much simpler. And there's less stress. I have some examples in here. You can take a look at it if you want. The next one is touch conservatively. The next one is initiate eye contact. The next one is, and I've updated this subheading, it is to use conference call good business. Because when you're doing something professionally, really what each person's in and the title of each person, the position, the role, the responsibility of each person. And it doesn't matter what type of business, organization, or sports, or music, or film, whatever it may be, whatever industry, whatever type of business, is that it's about good business. And that's really what build trustworthy relationships is about. Good business. Good business and the greater good. There is a greater good. Then the other subheading is, and again, I've updated this one. Ask priority questions one at a time. It's not get through a series of questions, although it's good to prepare in advance what questions, what priority questions to ask. However, ask one priority question at a time. Then from there, then the next priority question will reveal itself. Whatever it may be, it may not be one of the ones that you prepared in order to build a trustworthy relationship. Then the other one is communicate with focus. So here you're listening or trying to listen, or you do listen, trying to understand, empathize as needed, and then be helpful and supportive. Respect, help, and support each other. So here is a good opportunity here to look at how you may be able to partner. There's lots of good ways to do that. Good business, good opportunity, good benefits, and good options. The next one is to avoid mixed messages. So another way to say that is to promote clarity. And so it's important to be congruent in your best communication in your toolbox. So I end this strategy in chapter 6 with a quote. It's not my quote. However, I will read it. Relationships of trust depend on our willingness to look not only to our own interest, but also the interests of others or the other party. Peter Farquharson, I apologize if I didn't say his last name right, Administrative Information Systems Manager at the time, Mercy College of Northwest Ohio. So your bonus assignment today is obviously you all have already been doing this. Most of you who watch or listen to my podcast, my videos, like good business. And you are, regardless of what your position is, what your title is, what your role is, what your duties are, what your responsibilities are. Each person, individual, is in good business. So your bonus assignment is wherever you are, whatever you do professionally, and even if you're involved with something or participate in something, an organization or an endeavor, initiative, what's relevant and relatable to you in these 7 steps? Was it 7 steps? Let me look. It might have been 6. No, I'm right. 7 steps. Not only what's relevant and relatable to you, implement something in real time so that you succeed practically, compete to win. And remember, you're already a winner, or you wouldn't be competing to win. And improve daily. Which, if you don't like the word improve, you can put in parentheses, get/do a little better. Now, here's where being realistic is important. If you're a person on your own, most likely have your support system and network. Or you're in a business organization, you're on some kind of team. And keep in mind also that keep in mind and feel the importance of also knowing with the amount of time, energy, resources, including technology, availability that is currently there. Sometimes there's not. There needs to be a stimulus, or a practical breakthrough in learning, or a new practical breakthrough in learning, and the greater good. So I'm realistic. And therefore, sometimes without having practical breakthroughs in learning or new practical breakthroughs in learning, that's as effective and efficient as is possible. That's what I have for you in this episode. If you like my podcast, like it. Make a comment in the comment section. For those of you who are interested in my private, personal, professional, confidential services and programs, visit my website, rajgavurla.com, fill out the brief form, and we will contact you as soon as we can. Have fun and enjoy your day.